They get back a motherfucker. We know what's going on. They get back a motherfucker.
Red zone. You want clout? You speak my brother name. You get a headstone. Oh my God. Hey, y'all let me know, man. Who is harder than G? Out of these new upcoming rap niggas, man. Like, I'm talking about all the upcoming niggas that, you know, everybody, it's always one every year, a new person that has their turn. Right now, it's Bossman D-Lo. Feel me? It was Boston Richie a little minute back. It was Rob 49 a little minute back. Know what I'm saying? It was ESTG a little minute back. Y'all get it. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all starting to pick up on the trend. The hot trap rapper as of the moment. You know what I'm saying? Out of all them type of niggas, who had a harder come up than ESTG, y'all? Like, real talk. That nigga had 2020 and 2021 on lock. I'm talking about that I Still Don't Feel Nothing album. The red one. Boy, I still play that shit to this day, nigga. What, 4 years later? But neither here nor there, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm yapping. As y'all can see, man, y'all read the titles. Today we have my boy Lou Waster, man. We have rappers who were exposed for having ghostwriters. They got Future up here. I hope that's not true. I don't know if that's true. But it would explain all them damn hits, man. I ain't gonna lie, this nigga Future top 3. That nigga hard as hell. But neither here nor there, y'all. We gonna go ahead and hop straight into it. Not too much talking, man, because this video about 24 minutes long. You know what I'm saying? It's a little lengthy. So, yeah, we gonna get straight to it, man. But as always, if you're new to the channel, man, my name's Isaac. You know what I'm saying? I'd appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell when you do subscribe so you're notified whenever I drop another video. And head over to my main channel. Check that out too, man. It's just Isaac. ISAAC, man. Pranks and everything over there. All the time. Let's do it.
The authenticity that comes with writing your own rhymes is super important.
I know Drake got
As a
ghostwriters
result,
already.
The accusation that you don't
he
write
like
your
the
own
only one
rhymes
and
is
he
pretty
in the
much one of the
thumbnail.
most damaging things that you can say.
I wonder
about
who else
an
they gonna
artist.
say though. I don't know
Sometimes
nobody else for
it's
sure.
even been enough to literally end careers. While for others, such as those we'll be discussing today, is putting a massive asterisk to their name forever.
Cap. I lie, y'all. I do know another I don't know why them popping up all them pictures of other artists made me think. The City Girls, bro. They got ghostwriters. I just thought about that. I know Lil Yachty. Then again, I don't even think the City Girls is a group no more. Like, JT, she out doing her own thing and shit. But I know Lil Yachty wrote, like, their biggest hit, Act Up. I know he wrote that shit. And he may or may not. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He may or may not have wrote more than that, so who knows, y'all. But then again, he might have just been writing Young Miami shit, nigga. I can't lie. JT could actually, like, rap, though, like, a little bit. She could actually rap. But, yeah, man, I know Lil Yachty was writing for them, though.
My name is Lou Waster, and today we're going to be talking about rappers who survived ghostwriting scandals. When you mention a rapper who's had their legacy questioned after it was revealed that someone else wrote
Drake's
some of their bars, then the Sixth God is probably one of the first people you think of. Ever since it was revealed that he had some help from time to time on his work, people have looked at him a little sideways. In fact, there are some rappers who feel that his use of a ghostwriter prevented him from ever being in the conversation when it comes to being labeled as one of the GOATs of hip-hop.
Do you think that ghostwriting thing knocked Drake out of the lyricist, top list?
It has to.
I'm gonna be real, y'all. I don't know that it does. And this is me speaking on my opinion. I don't know that it does. Because it's just like, Drake has so many hits, it's like at this point you couldn't have expected him to write all of them by himself. Like, Drake has at least 3 to 4 hits a year, bro. Like, come on, bro. It's insane, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's no way he wrote all of them. And he just, like, clockwork like that. Like, come on, bro. Common sense would say that Drake has a team behind him helping him. But, it is what it is.
It has to. It's only fair. Before I had that, I was like,
I get
okay,
why people would
Drake,
feel that way
Kendrick,
possibly.
Cole, they in the battle for it. Once he got a writer, you know what I'm saying? He's not in the battle with Cole and Kendrick in my eyes no more. He's with Swiss, Diddy, and Kanye and them.
Although it was a move that had some people looking at him like
can
an
respect that
entertainer
take.
rather than a rapper, Drake's
I can
ghostwriting
respect that
scandal
take.
is something you barely ever hear get factored into a discussion about
people are
him these
definitely
days,
trying to
let alone
always
the
put him
collateral
up there with
damage
Cole
that was
and
left in the
Kendrick.
process that permanently derailed the life and career of a man who penned those rhymes in the first place. Before he ever linked up with Drake, Quentin Miller was a member of an Atlanta-based crew by the name of Wedding Crashers. Once people realized how solid his pen game was, Drake put in the call to have Quentin join his team as he was putting together the now legendary project titled If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Suddenly taken from obscurity to working with one of the biggest artists in the world, Quentin's involvement with Drake wasn't ever formally announced. Instead, users on forums like Kanye2the.com was wondering who the new man in Drake's entourage who was repping his label was. Just kind of weird they gave him an OVO chain, and he just recently started hanging out with them. Could be the next OVO signee. But as the world would soon learn by the way of Drake running into conflict with another top-tier artist, Quentin was never signed to OVO. Instead, that chain wouldn't even count as a consolation prize for all the chaos that was about to invade his life. When Meek Mill and Drizzy teamed up for the track Rico on Dreams and Nightmares, everything seemed
It's crazy how
above board.
much
After they had worked together
track
previously on
changed,
Amen from the Philly rappers' Dreams and Nightmares project, the link-up looked like it was going to be the next installment of a great creative partnership. Instead, it was going to be the spark that not only exposed Drake's use of a ghostwriter, but destroyed a man who helped him write the rhymes in the process. On Rico, Drake spit the line, "The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge." Now, that's pretty standard of the kind of bravado that rappers hit us with on every other track. But because there's always been rumors about whether or not Drake has ever had a thing with Meek's then girlfriend and Drizzy's fellow Young Money soldier, Nicki Minaj, Meek thought the bar might have been a little shot at him. However, he would soon change his mind. But this wasn't the end of the story, and that little misunderstanding was about to spark diss tracks, public statements, and even acts of violence.
I never put that together, y'all. Cause I love that song, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Rico, like, I remember when it first came out, bro. I was playing the hell out of that shit. And like, what was I in middle school, early high school? Nah, that had to be middle school for me. But neither here nor there. But yeah, bro, like, I never put that together. The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge. That might have actually been about Nicki Minaj. Meek, you gotta. I feel like you got a point with this one, brother. You might have actually had reason to, not even be upset about it, but it's like, check his temperature. Ask this nigga Drake, like, yo, like what you was talking about with that line and shit, like, you feel me? Like, everybody think you goddamn did this or had this with my girl and shit, like, feel me? You can't be saying shit like that with no context. Like, ask the nigga what's up, like, who was the line about? I'd say that's more like, respectable. But, yeah, man. I didn't realize that, y'all. I didn't realize that line was possibly about Nicki. That's crazy, though, when you think about it, because around that time, actually, I ain't even going to say that. I don't know the timeline for real. But I know Nicki and Cardi started beefing over the motorsport thing, right? The verse that Nicki had on Motorsport when she was basically saying, like, she always say to all the bitches it's her son's thing. She said something like, if Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi, or something like that. And apparently Cardi ain't like that, so she switched it to, if Quavo the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi. She basically saying, like, if Cardi the coach, if Cardi the QB, I'm the coach type shit. Like, she's under me type shit. But yeah, only reason I even thought about that, y'all, because it's crazy, is like, I didn't even know this was why the Meek and Drake shit started for real. That's very similar to why his then girl was beefing with Cardi and shit. That's crazy, bro. Very similar.
All it took to set that in motion was another series of tweets from Meek, starting off with this one where he says, "Stop comparing me to Dre. He don't write his rhymes. That's why he ain't tweet my album, cause we found out. He ain't even write that verse on my album.
Yeah,
and if I would've knew,
hell.
I would've took it off. I don't trick my fans." Considering Drake is still a huge star to this day, you'd be forgiven for thinking that these accusations weren't really a big deal.
Tweet,
but
though.
at the time, they were the talk of the entire industry. Ever since he came out the gate, Drake was basically seen as one of the leading artists in the game. Fame alongside Cole and Kendrick. So the news that he wasn't writing his own rhymes was a massive mark against him in the eyes of hip-hop pursuits. Meanwhile, OVO insiders like 40 tried to do damage control. If someone wants to be upset that Drake made a great album, go for it. But don't ever question my brother's pen. Soon, the name of the man who was giving Drake a helping hand came out to the public, and it turned his life upside down forever. In the liner notes of If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, the name Quentin Miller pops up on tracks like Six Man, Now and Forever, Company, and You in the Six. Considering he got credit, Miller isn't exactly a ghostwriter, but no one cared about that when the headline that Drake doesn't write his own raps was much more scandalous. Particularly when the receipts for Meek's claims emerged in the form of a reference track for Rico that Funkmaster Flex played live on air.
Oh, money, new women, gotta keep it bouncing.
The girl in your dreams a mid, probably not a challenge. I've been going on many times I can't count it. Funny how my accountant's still having trouble trying to count it. Nigga.
The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge.
As for other people knowing, Steven Dingle, the manager of OG Mako, basically confirmed that everyone from Atlanta knew, saying, Atlanta is a small circuit, everybody knows each other, so we've been rocking with Mac and Quentin, Dingle said. Before the project came out, we just knew he was working with Drake. We heard the records and stuff like that. He probably had a confidentiality agreement or something like that, cause he never purposely said, yeah, I'm writing for Drake. We just heard records and he was like, yeah man, Drake reached out. OG Mako took the same stance too, arguing that Quentin should embrace the credit he deserved for contributing to some genuine hits. You hear 6 p.m. in New York, that's clearly Drake. It's amazing, it's lyrically profound. He told all hip hop. But 6 p.m. in New York is not what everybody played every fucking day. It's 10 bands, and that's Quentin Miller. I wasn't like Drake.
Really? Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. 10 bands is hard too. I ain't gonna lie, that shit hard. 10 bands, 20 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man. That shit not even discussing, man. That shit hard, I can't lie. But 6 p.m. in New York, that's clearly Drake. It's amazing. Lyrically profound. Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Call me not the biggest Drake fan ever, but, you know, I don't know what 6 p.m. in New York is. I don't think I've ever heard that song. Maybe I have heard it, but I couldn't rap it to you right now if you wanted me to. So, this is a pretty good point, man. I ain't gonna lie, this man Luesta, he does, like, so much detailed research, bro. Like, his digging is just like top of the line. Like, it be certain things I known, but Luesta, like, he gives me all the small details in between that I didn't know. Like, he kind of clears it for me, clears everything up for me that I'm confused about. Like, when the lines are a little blurred a little bit, he'll fill in that little, you know, that I didn't know. That's why I rock with Luesta videos so much. But yeah, man, I didn't know Drake didn't write 10 bands. And this puts a lot of context on Drake's music for me, because it's like, I always heard that Drake had ghostwriters, but I never knew which songs. And I kind of just figured, like, yeah, okay, I mean, everybody has ghostwriters, who cares? But, like, when he says, like, when he puts quotes like this on the screen, it makes a lot of sense to me. And that just made me look at Drake's catalog a lot differently. Because it's like 10 bands, that's like one of those, like, you know, radio hits. Like, you can't deny it, that's a hit type shit. 6 p.m. in New York, it sounds like one of his you know, his freestyle verses. Like, you know, Drake always, he usually uses those to close out albums or as like interludes or something. But yeah, that puts a lot of perspective on Drake's like artistry to me. I'm starting to feel like, okay, the songs like 10 Bands, Hotline Bling, Legend, you know, those type of songs are probably like the ones he uses ghostwriters on. The mainstream hits, those type of bangers, those type of songs are the ones he probably uses ghostwriters on. And the ones like 6 p.m. in New York, Do Not Disturb, like those are probably really Drake writing those. So that just made me look at his music a lot differently. I'm not saying I'm gonna look at it like, oh, he's like, like it's still Drake, nigga. But I'm just saying, like, now when I hear a new Drake album, I feel like I'll be able to pick out, like, yeah, he wrote that one. He didn't write that one. He wrote that one. He had help on that one. You feel me? I feel like this quote really just helped me a lot because I didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Just trying to show that it's these underground dudes that y'all keep trying to discredit that's really out here boosting artists. Although people like Mako were fighting his corner and he was using him as ammunition in his beef with Drake, Quentin clearly didn't want to be known as someone who wrote tracks behind the scenes. As a result, he released a lengthy statement where he claimed, "Most of the project was done before I came into the picture. I remember him playing it for me for the first time thinking, why am I here? Like, what does he need me for? The answer is nothing. I am not and never will be a ghostwriter for Drake. I'm proud to say that we've collaborated, but I could never take credit for anything other than a few songs we worked on together." Although he wanted to use him as his ace in the hole with his beef with Drake, Quentin wasn't feeding into the narrative that Meek wanted to create. And the Philly rapper was about to take drastic measures to try and get him to do his bidding. And soon, Quentin was about to learn that for him, nothing would ever be the same for him ever again. Meek and his crew caught up with him in LA, and allegedly, under the direction of Nicki Minaj herself, assaulted him.
One of his mans came back like with his phone out and he was like, "Yo, I need you to go on camera saying you apologized to Meek Mill and everything you said is a lie." And I was just like, "Nah, man, like I'm not doing this shit." This is really my first time really talking with him, and basically told me like, you know, he didn't appreciate the letter that I dropped and it made him seem like he was a liar or whatnot, and they stole off on me in the Nike store and ran. I shed blood in the Nike store on Wilshire.
From that point on, there was no more OVO Quentin Miller. Rather than being the new signee that the world thought he was going to be, he's pretty much been left on the shelf and only has about 50,000 monthly listeners on Spotify to this day. Meanwhile, for Drake and Meek, they have since moved on like nothing happened, squashing the beef officially when they reunited on Going Bad for Meek's 2018 project called Championships.
Anybody that knows me knows that my strongest talent is writing. That is my strongest talent.
But understandably, Quentin feels a little bitter over how much damage his career and reputation took, only for them to patch it all up without ever making amends with him.
Yeah, how y'all gonna leave him out?
Basketball games and
that's messed up.
Do shows and shit together, you know? So it's just like, what the f was that even for? What the f was all of that for? You know, like all the stress that it caused, you know? And I know it. Everybody else is able to move on because everybody else's careers was established and shit. My career wasn't established. It's just crazy how the best moment of my life, you know, after a tweet turned into like one of the most stressful moments of my life.
Left struggling to rebuild, Quentin has kept trying to clear his name and let people know that he isn't a ghostwriter by trade. But that's all the mainstream ever sees him as.
I'm not a writer, and that's like the interesting thing. And to all industry people out there and labels out there, like, please, I want y'all to know that I am not a writer. Don't invite me to your writers' camps. Like, that was a special situation that just happened to happen. It was an opportunity, and you know, we just happened to be on the same wave.
Aside from a few bars from Pusha T at the height of their beef about how it was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin, Drake hasn't really had too much flack about the whole thing. And in an interview with Rap Radar, he said he didn't even regret it.
I've really made my peace. I have no embarrassment when it comes to what I did on that album. I worked with somebody on, I think, 4 or 5 songs on that record. I pulled my weight when it came to my pen. It wasn't like I needed somebody to facilitate, you know, entire ideas. We worked together. If I need to be the poster child that took all those hits for all my peers hiding behind me that do the same thing every album, that's fine, I'll do it, you know, because there's a lot of people that link up with other people and make records that you guys love.
But while he's made his peace with it, the same can't really be said for Quentin, and even all these years later, it seems like neither Drake or Meek will acknowledge the damage they did to Miller's life. And considering that Drake is still the biggest artist in the world, and was even revealed to have done some ghostwriting himself for artists ranging from The Weeknd to Kanye West, it's pretty clear he got off light compared to Miller. But another superstar who hasn't been completely able to escape the consequences of pretending she wrote her own bars or not giving her co-writers the credit they deserve is Cardi B. First bursting onto the screens on Love and Hip Hop, no one would have predicted that Cardi B would become one of the biggest stars in modern hip hop.
I figured
but
Cardi
even as she
B
began
was
to
his
drop
writers,
charting
but like
mixtapes as an independent artist, like Gangsta Bitch Volumes 1 and 2, it became clear that she had some star power at the
I was
very
about to
least.
say, bro,
Suddenly,
like she been
her
rapping.
song Bodak Yellow would make her the first solo female rapper to have a #1 hit since Lauryn Hill's Doo Wop that dropped in 1998,
GOAT.
while the release
Hey,
of her
man.
album Invasion of Privacy
Hey, man.
made her the 5th female rapper in history to have an album
I know
top the
Nicki
charts.
Minaj is
But with all that
obviously
success
the GOAT
came
of
all sorts
female
of
rap,
scrutiny,
but
including claims that she had a ghostwriter. At first,
if there
Cardi
were no
outright
Nicki
rejected
Minaj,
these
it would for sure be
accusations.
Lauryn
I
Hill
guess a lot
for
of
me.
people just assume that you were the ghostwriter, or you got, you know,
No
someone just
Lauryn
writing
Hill
for you,
slander
but you
would be
actually
tolerated
do all
over
your
here.
shit.
Yeah, the thing is that I'm from New York and I listen
Bro,
to
she
hip
looks
hop,
so
like,
different,
practically
bro.
my whole life. As I'm writing
It's
things,
crazy what
I
she's like
study
changed to.
And these guys be freestyling what is considered bars.
She blooded out
what are
though.
considered metaphors.
Y'all see it,
But
man.
as the
She
spotlight kept
always been
increasing
that.
around her, people started digging and quickly discovered that things weren't exactly as they appeared. In the Invasion of Privacy
Like, bro,
project
look
alone,
at her
it was
right
quite
there
common to see
compared to
co-writers listed.
the old
In the
interview
case
they
of
just
Partisan
showed.
Fontaine, he was credited on 12 out of 13 tracks on the project, including Bodak Yellow. Videos also surfaced of him performing songs like Be Careful in their entirety, a full year before Cardi released her version.
Whoa.
Man, I thought you would have learned your lesson. Bro, liking pictures, not returning texts.
Switch to H&R Block and you don't just get a tax pro. You get a tax partner that never lets you down. Work with the same pro with an average of 10 years experience
That's
year in, year out. It's better with Block.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery.
Guess it's fine, man, I get the message.
Whoa, that's crazy, y'all. 12 out of 13 songs on the project? I wouldn't have thought that many, bro. And that was word for word, bar for bar, the exact song. From at least that clip it was. That's crazy, y'all. I didn't know that, bro. And that's my mom's favorite Cardi song, bro. Like, when that album came out, my mom was playing the hell out of that Cardi B song. Neither here nor there. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. So, Party as in, like, Meg Thee Stallion's ex-boyfriend wrote 12 out of 13 songs for Cardi B, one of Meg's new best friends. That's interesting, bro. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Man, I thought you would've learned a lesson about liking pictures, not returning texts. I guess it's fine, man, I get the message.
Rather than hold her hands up to it, Cardi began to deflect and bring everyone else down along with her. Meanwhile, Party did his part to keep from revealing the truth of the matter whenever he was asked about it in interviews.
A lot of gossip about you being Cardi's ghostwriter. Is that true, Say?
Hold on, pinch me. I feel like a ghost to you.
At every opportunity, both Cardi and Fontaine have refused to confirm or deny the extent
How
of the
many
writing
Meg
they did
songs
on
y'all
the
think this man
projects.
wrote, man?
However, it's clear that once she got caught receiving help with her lyrics, all her previous talk about studying freestyles seemed to have disappeared.
I like to make money. I don't really give a fuck about being lyrical. I like to make shit that's gonna climb me on the charts. Like, I wanna make money.
Unsurprisingly,
Yeah, she's not
this
passionate
didn't help
about
her
rapping,
reputation
y'all.
in
She's
the eyes
rapping
of
for the
diehard
money.
hip-hop fans, with some users commenting things like, she literally says she only does it for money, and she doesn't make real shit because they don't play it in the club. Let's go ahead and separate the artist from entertainers. And I can't believe...
And you know what? Y'all can't even be mad at that comment, man. Y'all cannot be mad at that comment, because if y'all just watched what they just said, man, he literally is agreeing with the exact point that Loesta just said. Hold on, y'all. What's good, man? I'm recording, man. This Dufro, by the way, y'all. You want to say what's good? What's good with you, though? Alright, for sure. I'm going to be done in like 15 minutes. Alright, I'm going to call you back. Alright, bro. But yeah, y'all can't even be mad at this comment, because it's like, it's the truth, bro. Like, it's literally, quite literally the exact truth. She says she only does it for money. We might as well go ahead and separate the artists from the real entertainers. And we can go ahead and say, although they're beefing, I don't really get into the beef because I don't care that much. I like Nicki and I like Cardi. But with that quote being said and used here, Nicki is indeed a real artist. Cardi, yeah, she's an entertainer, bro. That's just the truth. That's the facts. That's the facts. But you know what? Does it really matter that much, though? Like, I don't think... It would explain why she hasn't dropped another album, too. Since her first one that went so fucking crazy. Like, her first album went stupid, bro. But neither here nor there. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. A lot of this is catching me by surprise, bro. Like, I feel like I keep starting sentences and points and not finishing them because I'm like, I'm lost for words. I'm trying to really figure out what to say. It's crazy. I figured Cardi B had ghostwriters, but 12 out of 13 songs is insane. And word for word, bar for bar is insane. Also, on the Drake section, why didn't they talk about The Weeknd, bro? Wasn't The Weeknd one of the people that was writing for Drake early on? Or am I tripping? Is that not why they had The Weeknd in the thumbnail? Taking off the little Drake mask? I don't know.
You guys allowed this girl into the rap industry. Ever since the Partisan Fontaine scandal, Cardi has tried to act as if she's turned over a new leaf.
She looks
and
so
as late as July of 2023,
bro.
She's been offering people to come to a studio session just to prove she's the real author of her rhyme. But it'd be a lot easier to believe that what went down with Party wasn't the sole incident. Released as a standalone single after Invasion of Privacy, her track Press was also proven to be penned by an unknown artist by the name of Houdini. Although Cardi's team initially denied it, they soon dropped the receipts of email exchanges with her team and reference tracks to prove what really went down. Suddenly, she was exposed yet again. Considering that she's still a megastar, she's likely not that sorry. But the constant shadiness over who she's working with or the process of how Cardi actually makes music...
Bro, Cardi B literally said herself out of her own mouth. We just heard it. She doesn't care, bro, about being lyrical. She just wants to make hits. Like, she literally said it, bro. So why would she be sorry, bro? I mean, if I was her and I had this mindset, I wouldn't be sorry, bro. I'm making hits for y'all. Y'all are enjoying the hits. Let it be what it is. Stop trying to force her to be the one who competes with Nicki Minaj if she doesn't want that for herself even. You feel me?
Hasn't exactly been great for her reputation. However, our next entry has managed to escape pretty much all of that, and if anything, he's caused problems for his ghostwriters by being too eager to expose them. Since the early days of his career, Kanye West has always employed the talents of other MCs to help fine-tune his own rhymes. Over the years, he's enlisted the skills of everyone, from Consequence to Sci-Hi the Prince, Farnsworth Bentley, and others. Rhymefest literally wrote Jesus Walks. Meanwhile, people like Malik Yusuf have been around since the outset and worked extensively across his records. In fact, Malik's fingerprints were all across the life of Pablo, to the point that he literally had to clarify he didn't pen the whole thing. I was quoted as saying I wrote...
This is not a faked reaction, bro. I promise you, this is my legit react. Like, bro, I'm learning a lot of these things for the first time. Like, it's like with Drake, I knew that, but I didn't know to the extent of how much he was using ghostwriters. With Cardi, I didn't know that. I kind of figured that. You know, I kind of figured. But it's like, yeah, I never knew. It was never confirmed. And then Kanye, I didn't know that at all. Like, I wouldn't have guessed that, bro. I wouldn't have. I'm being completely honest with y'all, straightforward. I wouldn't have guessed that. Everyone always talks about Kanye as being this musical genius, which he is. He still is, of course. But that's just crazy to me, bro. What else didn't he write? Like, somebody give me a hit song of his that he didn't write, other than Jesus Walks, because he already said that. But, bro, that would put a lot into perspective. Is it a lot of his songs? Damn, bro, Kanye is literally like the musical genius, bro. That's crazy to me, bro. But maybe, I don't know, y'all. Maybe I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt, because it might not be like this at all. But maybe he's only doing that as a part of his creative genius. You know? Like, maybe he's deciding because of him being a creative genius. Like, I'm hearing this beat that I just made, because y'all know Kanye makes his beats and shit. He heard this beat that he made, and he knows a certain flow or a certain sound that would just bring it together perfectly. That's the type of person Kanye is. So maybe he just knew, like, he isn't capable of hitting this flow the way that he should hit this flow. So I'm going to need a little bit of help from this person who's mastered this flow to help me also master this flow. Maybe he's doing it like that. But honestly, y'all, like, this is news to me. Kanye, I didn't know at all. Like, I wouldn't have guessed he used ghostwriters at all. That's kind of crazy to me.
The entire Life of Pablo LP, and that's completely false. He said after the whole thing came out, when asked about my contribution to the project, I simply stated that I contributed to every song, not that I wrote every song. Although I could delve into exactly what every individual person wrote for Ye, there'd really be no point, because for the most part, there's been no scandal attached. Because Ye is a producer first and a rapper second, he, similar to another individual we'll be discussing on this list, essentially receives a pass to seek help in a way that traditional MCs might not. Yet, the problems Kanye has faced with his writing team stems from the times he spoke up when it wasn't needed. First off, there was the drama which surrounded his album Ye, and specifically the track Violent Crimes. In October of 2018, West took to his always chaotic Twitter account to make some revelations about the process behind one of his latest album's best and most loved songs, saying, quote, Partisan Fontaine wrote the Violent Crimes verses. I changed 2 lines. He wrote the entire song though. Sahai Khan's Party, The Ghost in the Industry. Although some would see this as Ye just giving Fontaine his flowers, it was something that Party was less than pleased about. Nobody needed to know, he told GQ. I hit him up about that, like, that's not why I do it for. Already contending with the fallout of writing for Cardi, it's clear that he didn't want things to go down the Quentin Miller route. And over time, he opened up about how it all went down, and basically, working with Ye...
Hold on, y'all, getting another call. I don't know why niggas keep calling me. Yo, what's good? Filming, bro. They can hear you. Say what's good. You know what I'm saying? It's Mari 2K, man. Y'all know what this is. What's up, man? Alright. Alright. Alright, yeah. My bad.
It isn't an opportunity he could turn down.
He reached out. I wanted to talk to Push. I was like trying to get Push on the record. And he's like, yo, Kanye was just talking about you. I'm like, what? He's talking about me? And Kanye's one of my biggest influences, like an icon. I love Kanye. So when he said that Kanye wanted to work with me, I was just like taken back. So Kanye sends me a text a little while later, like, yo, can I call you? I'm like, bro, I've been waiting for this call my whole life.
In other interviews, he remained positive that all of these ghostwriting allegations wouldn't hinder his actual career.
Is it difficult at all for you to establish yourself as your own individual? Is that a fight for you? Is that still an uphill battle for you?
To me, like where I'm from, to get any type of light was like a ladder, you know what I'm saying? I just needed a little stepping stone, you know what I'm saying? So regardless of what people know me for or associated my name with, they knew my name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know me for something.
That's a good mentality.
After contributing to 5 out of 7...
That's a good mentality. It's also a very, very humble mentality. Shout out to Party, man. Yo, Party seems like... And correct me if I'm wrong, because I really don't know much about Party, bro. I found out about Party when he was with Meg. And all that Tory stuff was going down. Like, I didn't know who this nigga was. Never heard of him until he was dating Meg Thee Stallion. So, you know what I'm saying? Take that into account when you hear what I'm about to say. But Party, I don't know much about him, but he seems like the type of nigga that's like, he seems genuine, bro. Like, he seems like he's always, like, his heart be in the right place and shit. Like, you gotta think, man. This nigga Party was fucking writing for Cardi B and apparently a bunch of other people. Because Kanye called him the ghost in the industry. So, clearly, a lot of rappers know that he's writing for them. Neither here nor there, though. But, yeah, he wrote all but one of Cardi B's songs on her album that went, bro, that album went crazy, bro. Didn't it go platinum? Bro, it might have went diamond, bro. Like, that album went insane, bro, when she dropped it. Like, I'm talking about insane. And he wrote all but one on there. And he was upset that it came out that he wrote it. Like, he didn't want it to be exposed. He would have rather let her have the shine and stayed in the background, bro. That's very humble, bro. Call it what it is, bro. That's some very humble shit. And Ye said that he wrote for him. And it came out to the public. And he got upset about it. Like, bro, if anything, that just put your career on one of the highest pedestals, bro. You got upset. He said, that's not what I do it for, bro. And I could respect that, bro. Morals over everything. Like, he doesn't even care about the fame, the money, all the materialistic. He doesn't care about that shit, y'all. He said, that's not what I do it for. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. I also heard Party's little diss song when he was, responded to Meg and shit like that or whatever when they broke up. He can actually rap, y'all. Like, he's good. He can make music, bro. And this might not be news to y'all because y'all might already knew who he was. But this is news to me because I thought he was just Meg Thee Stallion's boyfriend, bro. That's how I looked at him. He can make music, bro. And he's like on all this like defending his women shit, which I can respect, man. I can respect that. He defends his girl. A lot of people was on his head about it, but he was defending his girl, bro. Not to mention, he came out in that diss song he wrote about Meg and said she was sleeping around with niggas and she was getting fucked by niggas and shit. And apparently he knew that. And he still defended her in the public eye. You know what I mean? Like, defending her against even more niggas that he didn't know she fucked. But just out of being genuine type shit. Like, y'all get where I'm going with this? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Party seemed like a genuine dude, bro. I can't lie. He seemed like a cool nigga, bro. I might go check out some of his music after this, man. Because he's actually talented. Way more talented than I even knew, clearly. And I respect it, bro. I respect how he coming as a person, as a man. You know what I'm saying? I respect the morals that he stands by. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. So, Party, you might have just gained a new supporter, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I rock with a lot of things that you stand by. It's still free Tory, though, man. It's like, nah, yeah, I don't really care for real.
The project marked the end of
I don't
Partisan's
get into
working
that,
relationship
man.
with West.
If he
but
shot
rather
her,
than take off since
lock him
then,
up. If
he's
he
still
did
stuck
it,
in the same
free
territory
him,
as he
man.
was then.
I believe in
An elite
justice.
spitter who just hasn't quite broken out on his own. But sometimes Ye's issues with his ghostwriters happen long after they've obtained fame and fortune. And in the case of Talib Kweli, he's unwisely took a shot at a man who literally put him on. Back in the start of West's career, Kweli was already an established star as both a solo artist and
as
member
in his
of Black
last
Star.
name. I keep
After the
thinking he's
two
saying
became
West,
friends,
like
Kweli took Ye on
W-E-S.
tour with him and gave him early exposure to the limelight. Fast forward 20 years later, and during Ye's infamous interview with Drink Champs, he randomly decided to take a few shots at Kweli.
If I'd be like you, Kweli, I'd be where you at. Now, if you take the average 99% of people say, do you want to be Kweli or do you want to be Ye? More people gonna want to be Ye. I love Kweli. I never really liked the way he rap. I apologize once again to Kweli. I'm sorry, I never could your rap. Oh shit, I did just see that. I totally
Although Ye dishing out his opinions to the world isn't exactly anything new, this seemed more ill-advised than most, considering how respected Talib is in the hip-hop world. In response, he shared an IG post which exposed each and every person who'd written for Ye over the years, titled Kanye West Ghostwriter Appreciation Post. Among those photographed was Common, Pusha T, John Legend, Consequence, GLC, Party, and a whole lot more, with several of the ghostwriters in question posting to insist it was a collaborative process rather than them just writing Ye's rhymes. Talib still wasn't over the disrespect and continued to sound off in the comments. I agree, Ye is more talented enough to write a whole album with no help. He doesn't though. So he shouldn't be shitting on the skills of those who do. For Ye, it was never using writers that was the problem. Just the moments where he mistreated them or ignored their requests for discretion that it reflected badly upon him. But when he does treat them right, he's been able to maintain healthy, mutual, beneficial relationships that have lasted for years. However, another man who's also suggested to keep that same balance over the years and left one ghostwriter in particular out to dry is Dr. Dre. Much like Kanye, Dre has had plenty of positive experiences with ghostwriters. Renowned for his prowess with beats rather than bars, Dre has spit other people's lyrics since the days where Ice Cube wrote all of his bars for him and Eazy-E when NWA was still together. After Dr. Dre's partnership with Ice Cube deteriorated, he left the group. Then the DOC came on board, teaming up with Snoop Dogg to write many of the lyrics you hear on a classic album like The Chronic. Over the years, Royce da 5'9", Rakim, Nocturnal, and Kendrick Lamar have all taken turns writing bars for Dre without any issue. But when it came to the follow-up of The Chronic after many years, Dre needed a new flavor. And that's where a recent signee, famously known as Marshall Mathers, came into the equation. Exploiting into Dre's orbit at a time where the Doctor needed a win, Dre famously knew he struck gold from the very minute he played a beat to M. As within minutes of meeting each other, the song My Name Is came out almost fully formed. With that kind of level of skill, it's no surprise that Dre wanted to recruit M as a part of the writing staff for his next album titled 2001. Regarding his contributions to the project, it was well known that Eminem wrote one of the album's biggest hits directly. Additionally, What's the Difference was confirmed by DOC to also have been penned by Eminem as well, after a fan brought it up in a tweet. Among the other tracks that M has credits on within the album are The Watcher, Let's Get High, and Bang Bang. Another few timeless hits from Dr. Dre are featured as two of the biggest songs on the album, amassing over 2.1 billion listens combined, with Still Dre, which was ghostwritten by Jay-Z, and Forgot About Dre. Despite featuring Eminem on the studio version, Forgot About Dre was initially intended for the duo of Dre and Snoop.
That was Eminem's idea. He wrote the song for me and Snoop originally. He laid the reference vocals for Snoop, and I liked the way it sounded, so we just kept it that way, and I laid my vocals, and that was it. I have no idea what triggered him to write that song. He just came in with those lyrics, and we wrote some music to it, and that was that.
And as we know, this song was an instant classic, winning Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group at the Grammys, and remaining one of Dre's most iconic tracks to this day. As for Hove, his contributions to Still Dre were so neatly spelled out for Dre and Snoop that all they had to do was head to the studio and follow the reference track.
On that reference track, I'm doing Dre and Snoop's. The reference track sounds like them.
But for every other ghostwriter that is treated well, there's always one who slips through the cracks and is hung out to dry. In Dre's case, that man is Jay Flex. While at Death Row Records, Jay Flex turned into one of Dr. Dre's preferred ghostwriters after they met by chance at a traffic light, where Flex handed Dre his demo tape. During his time working with Dr. Dre, Jay Flex quickly made a mark on writing tracks such as California Love in just 30 minutes and crafting Dre's memorable verse on Natural Born Killers. But where others like Snoop and M were elevated to fame after their internship writing for Dre, this didn't happen for the man who was seen on the record as James Anderson. And unlike the DOC, whose shot at being a star was destroyed where he crushed his vocal cords in a car accident, it wasn't because he wasn't ready. In fact, Dre basically used Jay Flex's skills and threw him to the wolves. Eventually, this would lead to Flex dissing him on the track Been There Done That, where he outlined how much he'd been allegedly scammed. No question the real about the DRE is that he damn near had me writing rhymes for free. Ain't trying to give me no royalty. Make a mill off my shit and give me a few G's. Since way back when he was with Easy, stealing credits from Snoop in the DOC. Compelled to make a diss track by Suge Knight after Dr. Dre left Death Row behind, releasing that track probably stopped any chance of reconciliation between the two. But to this day, Flex still feels a way about how Dr. Dre just cast him aside and into a potentially deadly situation.
Rightfully so.
I don't have no animosity because he didn't have to pull over and stop and take my tape. So I'm gonna be forever grateful to him for that. But what he told us was that he was gonna take care of our contractual obligations to Death Row. And he really just saved himself. And then when I asked him about it, he said, oh, well, why don't you set up this ghost publishing company? You know what I mean? Because Suge ain't getting a dime from me. That was his exact word. How I looked at it, though, was, and I can understand he had to make his move, but how I looked at it was, okay, you want me to go behind Suge back and write for you when I ain't really got my proper money in the first place. But then you want me to go behind Suge back and take chances on crossing this when I see what he do to that crossing. But you ain't even doing it right. You know what I mean? So to me that showed me because he came at the friend role in the beginning like we was buddies. You know what I mean? I always thought he was looking out.
Across situations like those faced by Quentin Miller and Jay Flex, we see how precarious the road of a ghostwriter really is. Because the minute that it's you or them, the mainstream artist won't hesitate to throw you to the side in order to save their own skin. So while examples like Eminem, the DOC, and Snoop show that it could be an important stepping stone in your career, more often than not, it's only going to bring drama when these rappers are outed for not really being the person who opens their rhymes. So the real question is if the risk is worth the potential reward.
Sonic Doll.
Alright, that's gonna do it for this vid, man. Know what I'm saying? It's 11:11, man. We gotta go ahead and get this thing out before 12 o'clock. I can't lie to you. So, not too many closing comments, y'all. Not too many closing comments, but, you know, I will say the ghostwriter thing is kind of like, it really doesn't mean much to me, bro. I'm of the opinion that most of the rap industry uses ghostwriters, bro, and we just don't know who, right? I'm of the opinion that 98, if not 99% of the rap industry most likely probably uses ghostwriters, bro. But it's about who's been exposed for using ghostwriters. You know what I'm saying? That's Drake, Cardi B, City Girls, Dr. Dre, apparently. Kanye, apparently. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's niggas only make a big deal about it when it comes out. And it sucks because a lot of times the mainstream artist is already so loved to that point. Even if they didn't write a single word from the moment that their career began, the fans are going to love them anyways and not the writer. So, for a lack of better words, the arter, I mean, not the, what the fuck was I just saying? The writer is dispensable in a way, and it's a little fucked up. But, you know, the main artist can just go find another good ghostwriter. But neither here nor there, y'all. Actually, I mean, if you think about it, I guess neither of them are dispensable because the artist can just go get another ghostwriter the ghostwriter, if he's that good that he was writing for, say, someone like Drake, as just an example, or Kanye, then they can just, since their talent is clearly there, they can find somebody else to write for, bro. It'll always be a demand for someone who's that talented if you've already worked with the top of the top. So I guess it's really not a loss for either party, now that I really think critically about it, y'all. But yeah, I don't really care too much about the ghostwriting thing. Y'all comment below and let me know how y'all feel about it, though. But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for this video, y'all. As always, man, my name's Isaac. I'd appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe. Know what I'm saying? And turn on that bell, turn on them post notifications so that you're notified whenever I drop another video. Head over to my main channel, check that out too, man. It's just Isaac, ISAAC, man. New video actually just dropped over there. So since this went over, man, you might as well go ahead and head over there, man. I'll see you over there. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, man. I'm gonna see you in the next video.